Welcome into the DRF Sportsbook betting breakdown. We're going deep into player props for today's episode. A few days back, we had the Iowa Wise guys on, and they came on and gave us every single one of their favorite plays, which way they're leaning for the Super Bowl. No shock, they both were on the Eagles. I'm on the Eagles to win the game. But if you want to check out full breakdown, game props, everything, we touched on it all. That's back in our YouTube, and you can find it right there as well. And for today's episode, we're going big game player prop previews. So many player props on the board for this game. And I mean, that's no surprise. It's the biggest game of the NFL season. It's the most bet on day in the NFL. I think the only thing that comes even remotely close to it is March Madness, and that's a whole month. This is one of the best days to bet. You're with your friends hanging out at the watch party. Get your phone out in Iowa and bet with DRF Sportsbook. We're on social. Follow us at DRF Sportsbook so you never miss an insight, a promo, anything like that. So you want to stay connected with us, follow us at DRF Sportsbook. And in Iowa, download the app so you can be betting during these watch parties and getting in on all of the action. So to start things off, we're going A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith to score. A.J. Brown is sitting at plus 115 to score. Devontae Smith at plus 163. So if you have a little bit more faith in one of these guys to score, A.J. Brown has had more touchdowns on the season, so you might want to put maybe a unit and a half, 2 units on him. But if you do bet 1 unit on both of these, you'll come out profitable. Not extremely profitable, but profitable. And I truly believe one of these guys will find the end zone in this game. So far this year, one of them have scored in 11 of the 17 games this year, so you're hitting at a really high clip. Not only that, the Chiefs secondary has allowed some of the most touchdowns to wide receivers this year. The Chiefs secondary has allowed 1.3 touchdowns per game to wide receivers. That's the second most in the NFL, second only to the Dallas Cowboys. And so this is a Chiefs secondary that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith will most likely have a lot of success finding the gaps and finding the end zone against. Not only that, L'Jarius Sneed, he is a go for this game. L'Jarius Sneed expected to play. However, you don't know how healthy he necessarily is. He got knocked out of the AFC Championship game, so there may be some kind of rust there. I'm not entirely sure. But outside of L'Jarius Sneed, this is a Chiefs secondary just riddled with injuries, and it is all rookies. And that's why I think A.J. Brown to score at plus 115 or Devontae Smith to score at plus 163 is a fantastic bet. I'm actually, if I had more faith in one of these two bets, if you forced me to pick one of these, I think it's Devontae Smith to score at plus 163. You get a little bit more value, and odds are L'Jarius Sneed will be covering A.J. Brown in this game. He'll be most likely shadowing him. So Devontae Smith will have a better matchup, a more favorable matchup against that rookie corner. And so I believe Devontae Smith may have more of an opportunity to score. But if you bet both of these guys to score, you will come out profitable. Might not be a big profit, but you will come out profitable. Another one I'm looking at, Hassan Reddick to win MVP, and you might be looking at me like I'm crazy. The odds makers tell you it's Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, and really no one else has a chance. But I think we're overvaluing quarterbacks at MVP. When we had the Iowa Wise guys on, they both were picking Jalen Hurts to win MVP. And look, I get it. But if you look at recent success, recent kind of who was the MVP, it's not necessarily a quarterback every year. Cooper Kupp won it last year. Wide receivers win it at a solid rate. Linebackers have won it in the last few years. Malcolm Smith in Super Bowl 48 won it. Von Miller in Super Bowl 50 won it. If a linebacker makes a big impact on a game, there's a good chance that they can win it. And Hassan Reddick has done nothing but make extremely huge impacts on games this playoffs. And against the Giants, he went off. He had a few tackles, a sack, But let's focus on the NFC Championship game. Hassan Reddick had 2 sacks, 3 tackles, one of them for loss, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. If Hassan Reddick does that in the Super Bowl, Hassan Reddick is winning the MVP, folks. And at plus 3,000, this is a fantastic bet. And Hassan Reddick has been eating this postseason too. So far in the postseason, 3.5 sacks, 8 tackles, 2 tackles for losses, 4 QB hits, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Hassan Reddick has been eating. And against these Chiefs tackles, I think he'll continue to eat. And I know the Chiefs love to run 13 personnel, meaning they love to have 3 tight ends on the field with 1 running back. And when they do that, they may be, overloading a side to Hassan Reddick's side. But you can't necessarily do that because then if you do that, you're leaving Josh Sweat available, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave. All 3 of those guys also had double-digit sacks this season. Hassan Reddick had double-digit sacks. And this is an Eagles defensive front 7 that accounted for 70 sacks this season. I believe top 5 in NFL history. So you can't necessarily single one guy out. Hassan Reddick's been eating this playoffs. I love Hassan Reddick to win MVP at plus 3,000. Not saying it's a lock, but I'm saying the value is extremely great there. So is Travis Kelce at plus 1,200, though. If the Chiefs win this game, I think it's on the back of Travis Kelce. And I know Patrick Mahomes is the trendy one. I believe he's plus 130 to win the MVP as of right now as I pull up the odds over on DRF Sportsbook. You look there, Travis Kelce at plus 1,200. He's the 3rd favorite behind the 2 quarterbacks, and I think that's for a very good reason. If the Chiefs win this game, it's going to be from an otherworldly experience from Travis Kelce. Patrick Mahomes is going to do what Patrick Mahomes does. But you look at that banged up wide receiver core. You don't know how healthy Kadarius Toney is going to be. You don't know if Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be 100%. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had a fantastic AFC Championship game, but I believe he got banged up a little bit in that game. Mecole Hardman, Sky Moore. You can go down the line and all of these guys. They're a little banged up at the wide receiver position, and that's a wide receiver position that wasn't necessarily elite coming into this Super Bowl, coming into this season. The one mainstay, the one elite thing for this Chiefs has been the Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce connection. If the Chiefs are going to win this game, I expect Travis Kelce to have high double-digit, and by high, I mean 10 to 17 targets in this game. I expect him to have double-digit catches. I think if the Chiefs win, Travis Kelce needs double-digit receptions and triple-digit receiving. I think his triple-digit receiving, I think he needs to go above 100 yards, maybe 100 to 125, and a touchdown or 2. And if Travis Kelce is putting together a stat line that looks like that, you gotta give Travis Kelce the MVP. And I know it's a little tough to stomach a tight end winning Super Bowl MVP. A tight end has never won Super Bowl MVP, but I think if the Chiefs win this game, that's changing. I'm really high on Travis Kelce at plus 1,200 to win MVP if the Chiefs win. So it's kind of a hedge almost. I think Hassan Reddick, I'll say this. Here's my quick breakdown of the MVP. If the Eagles win, its odds are Jalen Hurts will be the MVP. However, Hassan Reddick, great value. He's been eating in the playoffs. I expect him to continue to eat in the Super Bowl. And because of that, there's an outside chance, hence the plus 3,000, he wins the MVP. I think that's really solid value. Travis Kelce at plus 1,200, I think if the Chiefs win, he's the MVP. So I love Travis Kelce at plus 1,200. If Chiefs win, he wins. Then we have this really interesting prop over at DRF Sportsbook. Download the DRF Sportsbook app if you're in Iowa, and you can bet all of these with some of the best odds in the entire state. We're Iowa's only local sportsbook. Total players to have a rushing attempt. Over-under is set at 9.5. So 10 guys have to rush the football. I'm on the under at minus 157. And let me tell you why. 4 guys touched the ball for a rushing attempt for the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. 4 guys touched the ball for a rushing attempt in the NFC Championship game for the Eagles. That Eagles game was a blowout. So you know they were putting in guys that may not touch the ball in this game. And even if they did, you would still need all 4 guys to touch the ball, all 4 guys for the Chiefs to touch the ball, plus 1 more from each or 2 more from one, and then you hit the over. That's why the over is plus money. But I think the under at minus 157 is juicy enough for you to jump on that, because I think we may see 8 or 9, but I don't think we're getting all the way up to 10. 10 is a large, large number. And the Chiefs run a lot of this, I don't want to say gadget stuff. I don't want to say like Pop Warner type of plays, but they run, the quick shovel passes, the little jet pass, push pass, things like that, screen passes. They like to run a lot of stuff in the backfield, but it's all going forward, because if it goes forward and it drops, this is the reason they do it. It's not a fumble. It's an incomplete pass. So I think you might see, Mecole Hardman getting the ball in the backfield, but through a forward pass. You may see Kadarius Toney, if he's healthy enough to go, get the ball in the backfield, but through a forward pass. And because of that, you may see a lot of guys touching the ball in the backfield, but it might not be resulting in a rushing attempt. So under 9.5 total players to have a rushing attempt in this game at minus 157. I think that is one of the best props we have in today's episode. And last, but certainly not least, Jalen Hurts. I'm not touching Patrick Mahomes' passing yards because that's a whole different beast. But Jalen Hurts' passing yards, I feel like there's a ton of value in this. And the odds makers may be just getting me to buy in. But let me tell you what I like on Jalen Hurts. It's the Super Bowl, right? So you don't have one yard number to go off of. You have a whole lot. So it ranges from 199.5 to over 299.5. So a 100-yard kind of mix. Jalen Hurts is averaging 137.5 pass yards this playoffs. And I know what you're probably screaming at your computer right now. Jack, I know, but they blew out the Giants. He wasn't expected to throw a lot. They were playing Brock Purdy playing left-handed, and they were up big, especially in the second half. They just had to run the ball out. Look, I get it. 100% I get it. But, tell me why he has a negative completion percentage over expectation. That means he's not hitting his targets. His completion percentage is only slightly better than what Tyler Huntley's CPOE is. That's not great company. Look, he's having his receivers open, and he's missing them. He hasn't been the same since coming back from his shoulder injury. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to have any impact at all on this game. I'm on him under 224.5 pass yards. I think he's going to have over 200 passing yards. I think he'll be solid. I think he'll hit a deep guy going, Devontae Smith for a touchdown. I don't know, maybe calling it back to that earlier touchdown prop we had going. I think Jalen Hurts will hit something deep. I don't see him, balling out and throwing for 250, 3 touchdowns. No. I think he'll throw for 215, 220, a touchdown or two, add on a rushing touchdown, rush for 50 yards. I think Jalen Hurts will have his impact in this game without a doubt. But this is an Eagles team that is predicated on running the football, winning the trenches. When you have guys like Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, all of these guys, you know what I'm saying? They're going to run the ball, and that's how they're going to want to win this game. And I think that's what they're going to have to do to win this game. Jalen Hurts under 224.5 pass yards is 100% the play. He's coming off of a 121-yard performance in the NFC Championship, a 154-yard performance in the divisional round. He hasn't cracked 200 in these playoffs. So I think under 224.5 is a really, really great play. So thank you so much for tuning in to the DRF Sportsbook betting breakdown player prop for the big game edition. If you want to check out our episode with the Iowa Wise guys, where we dove into the game and kind of what trends there are, what storylines we're looking at, and what are we kind of doing and how we bet this Super Bowl, check that out over on our page. And don't forget to subscribe to the DRF Sportsbook YouTube channel. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and have a profitable Sunday. See ya.